What is it that really stops us from getting all the things that we want, that brings meaning, the things that allows us to have meaning in our lives? Is it not the fears, the doubts, the insecurities, all the negative emotions? Of course it is. It's not that there's not enough money. There are trillions of dollars on the planet. It's not that there's not enough love. There's lots of people to love. It's not that there's not enough resources. Well, maybe if we were living in a very, very poor place with no water and or even then we could drive to a city. Let's say we were in India in one of the towns with no water. We could still drive to Mumbai or Kerala or somewhere. We could get on a plane. We could fly to a place that does have an oasis of water, even if we were in the middle of the desert. So what is it that holds us back? Isn't it our emotions? So me, being tremendously emotional and passionate all the time, I used to see it as a bad thing, a negative thing, because, in the world that I come from, in the corporate existence, that's not something that's allowed. In a world where there's no feelings and no love and emotion, where money is God and everyone forgot that the real divine light of angels and the peace and the bliss and the beauty that there is, that I can go through, and I'm not going to go through personal experiences, but come from a family history and background of, where I've had attempted rape more than 7 times. I've had brutal murders. I've had violence, blood spilled. I can't tell you the torture, the physical, mental, emotional, all that. And you fill in the blank that I've been through, and it doesn't really stick anymore once I've accessed that was just training wheels. That was just an experience. So how do I help and serve you? I'm doing my best to put this information out to you that I've discovered. I took this journey to the American Southwest, to Sedona, Arizona, and there is something in the Red Rocks. When I came here, I was just a black and white accountant. Yes, I was very intuitive. I've always had intuition, but so is all human beings. But there is a spiritual connection here, a power here, an energy that I can't explain. What happened was like this part of my being, my third eye and my pituitary gland on top of my head just blew open, and I flew into cosmic awareness. And I fell in love with our universe. And I wanted us to know what it's like to live life to the fullest, despite all the hardships and the pain that I've had to suffer. If I can save, I made a commitment to God that if I lived past the age of 21, that I no longer want to do what I want to do at that point, if I ever lived. Because before that, I'll be honest, I didn't want to live. My life was pain every day. It was suffering. I had no say in my own existence. But this video was about how do we take that level of psychological, mental, physical pain? How do you love that person? How do you still love when you've gone through that kind of trauma? How do you still be you? How do you survive all of this? How do we open the heart to forgiveness? Well, it's actually much, much more simple than you think. There's 5 steps. There's a little bit more, maybe 6 or 7, but we'll stick with a couple of steps. First, we really have to get in touch with our heart center and our emotional body. We really have to find the healing within, the love within. But I'd be a phony, I'd be BSing if I thought like, oh yeah, I love these people my whole life for doing this to me. I didn't. I was walking around like every normal person, flipping out on everyone and angry all the time, I'll admit it. I didn't know better. So I've asked for forgiveness of my own being, and I asked for forgiveness for those perpetrators. How do we do it? How do we release generational curses and things that bring into our now? So it doesn't matter if you've had mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, energetic, no matter what that pain is, these 5 little steps I'll start with, or 7, 8 steps, a couple little in-between steps, but not so important. If you can really accept and allow for the immense pain associated with that attack upon your being, just allow it, accepting it. Don't fight with it like I used to, because then you go fight with other people. My early career, I fought all the time. Now, I can't say I'm perfect, but I don't fight so much. After my baby was born, he's now 2, it totally changes us. It's true. Kids do change us, because we don't want them, mimicking mommy if mommy's having, a moment. We try to contain that. We try to give them the best. So if you're my baby and you're my babies out there and you're going through something immensely traumatic and emotionally painful, I happen to be very passionate about serving and healing and helping people. I mean, I have to disclose I'm not like a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and I'm not, you have to see your professional doctor or, But I saw all of them. I was in hospitals for years and years. I did traditional psychology and psychotherapy and all of that. I just couldn't handle pills. My body just didn't do well with pills. But I had a lot of counseling. I tried everything under the sun, and nothing was permanent and brought me back to whole. As the simplest thing I'm sharing with you. Acceptance.